Yes, my F4U aircraft. I forget what it was. I was mad at somebody. Mad at the council or someone. There was someone, and they were going to they were stealing everything or attacking me or something like that or slandering my name. And so I was building an aircraft, and like I said, I had building manufacturers all over the world, and so I invented something and I was building it, having it manufactured, and so I classified it as an F4U aircraft, which basically was saying fuck for you. It was a fuck for you aircraft. Anyway, yes, I am not without my sense of humor, and massively wealthy and massively in production. And these people were basically killing people or doing something bad, and so I put in a little joke there, you might say. Just like white hair and black skin and all that other stuff, when people were lying and upsetting me, like I acted out, I guess you could say. I did act out a little bit. I mean, I got mad. I got really mad. I mean, I'm this great and awesomely powerful person, and being kind and nice, and they were taking advantage of me. And they were basically going to kill me and kill a bunch of other people. And so one of the things I did was the F4U aircraft, because, I mean, it's like I'm your creator and your leader and this great, wonderful, powerful person that's doing all this stuff and inventing all this stuff and having things built. So I built the F4U aircraft. I said, like Louisiana, Lamborghini, and a bunch of other stuff in America and everything. I mean, I named a lot of stuff, and I was very powerful and very, like, my Germans really loved me. My Irishmen, they really loved me. Like, in the cold winter nights, they would be huddled around my steam engines and my steam stuff, and I did lots of very loving, kind things. That I mean, I loved my workers. My workers stood by me. They built everything that needed to be built. They built the cities. They worked hard. They farmed. Like, the people of my planets and the people. I love my people. I hate the council. Like I can say, sometimes I hated the leaders and I hated the council because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I mean, I was like, like, what are you doing? Like that one Miss Gretchen or whatever. She was the council leader of the Irish. I mean the Britain's council girl or whatever. She turned out to be a bitch. Like this drug or whatever, coked up. I don't know. She was like this horrible person, and she turned out to be this really horrible person. And like, they wanted to kill me, because I was rich, and they were using like this whole lie or this whole excuse of it's a war, to repossess all my factories. And it's like, you can't do that. I invested in those. And then they wanted to, like, I don't know, micromanage the world or something like that. And like, they were trying to take it all away from me, and they were trying to kill me, and they're trying to kill a bunch of other people that worked for me. And it's like, what the F, got into you? What the, and they're just these small people that happen upon this great amount of power, and they're like, and just like, they just wanted to take as much as they could get. I mean, it's like, what makes you different from everybody else on this frickin' planet? Like in the end, Trump or Joe Mailman, you're at the same level, really. There ain't no difference there. That. Anyway, so tensions got high, things got heated up, and I was just caring about the majority. It's like, I have 7 billion people here, and they were 1 or 2, and they're like, well, what makes you different? It's like, because I'm your creator. I'm Lucifer, the real honest to God Lucifer, namer of America, namer of everything else. And so one time, like I said, with the aircraft, I built the F4U, the aircraft. There's some other things. If you look at the designations and the things, it's because I was doing it as time. It's not like I went back and like scribbled in. I wasn't like Richard Nixon and a bunch of the other people were like scribbling in history. that really didn't happen. But I was actually in time and space, and I was actually doing it as I went along. So as things came up, I was like, F4U aircraft. So unlike the other people that scribbled out stuff and wrote in their name or whatever, or tried to change the facts, I was the real thing, the real deal, as they say. And so I did the F4U aircraft. I did there's some other things. Like you'll look at it and it'll be like the building plan and everything's all official and it'll be like F4U aircraft. And my people were just like, I was wondering how many people would actually catch it. Like, I wonder if that will catch it. Like, anyway, it was a joke, of course. I would do that a little bit too, and my people would jest at me a little bit too. My people, when they were talking to me or working with me, would joke to me, and I'd be like, "Ha ha, that's very funny," and because we did this whole, I mean, in general, in time and space, like me and the Irish, me and a lot of people, we had this real world kind of like love for each other and caring for each other, like. I really loved them and I really cared about them and I was willing to go to any length and spend any amount of money to keep them safe and fed and warm. And that was fine. I didn't mind. I just anyway though. And we had a lot of issues. I mean like with population increasing, we're looking at from 5 million, you're looking at 15 million people in pretty short order, and with people having like 14 children, it gets even worse. So a census and an idea and a group togetherness had to be forged and founded, and so we had to work all that out. Anyway, so throughout the paces and stuff, every now and then, like somebody like Nixon or JFK would just be lying and promising this, saying they did that, and it's like, he was gumming up the works, as they say. I mean, we're doing all this inventing and I'm spending money and researching and getting all this other stuff, and there's these little psychopaths that are like running around going rich, 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 and they basically didn't do much more than to somebody else, and it's like, I needed that person. That person had been working before me for like quite a few years, and you just shot him and killed him. You can't just take his place. Anyway, so there was lots of things, lots of issues and stuff like that, and then problems because, like, some people just thought they could just kill people and just take over. It's like, well, that doesn't really work, and that just caused a problem. And then, of course, like I say, the Irish people in general had a legitimate complaint, and legitimate problems. And I was working on that solution and had been working on that solution until certain people came along and were like, whoa, it's like, you get in the way, and then, and they were trying to abuse powers of the government. It's like certain people in Britain wanted to abuse the powers, abuse this, abuse that. It's like, where it's, where they're just locking up kids for no reason or just trying to, it just became this big headache. And then there was this war, of course, I didn't even know it was about them trying to kill me or wanting to kill me, and all that other stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, basically.